Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and that is a great 8-seat SUV from the Toyota brand. That is the all-new 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander. And in this video, I'm going to take you on a quick tour of this one, show you why this limited trim may be your best bet. Stay tuned. All right, Gearheads, before I get too far into this one, I do want to say a huge thank you to Woody, John, and the whole team over at Classic Toyota here in Tyler, Texas, where they were kind enough to lend me this limited trim to show you around today. If you followed the channel for any length of time, you know I just recently was down in Houston at Gulf States Toyota checking out the top trim Platinum, but I wanted to show you this 8-seater limited trim while I had my opportunity here, thanks to the team at Classic Toyota in Tyler. Before we get too far into it, I do want to show you what is underneath the hood. Yes, this is a premium SUV, but does still use a prop rod. All trims, including the top trim Platinum, offer or use that prop rod. And then what we get under the hood here that is supported by that prop rod is Toyota's new 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that replaces the old V6 in the traditional Highlander and is the quote-unquote base power plant here in the Grand Highlander as well. The 2.4 Turbo 4 makes 265 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, which is absolutely nothing to sneeze at. They are V6 level power numbers, and while being less than that of that Hybrid Max that we tested in the Platinum trim not that long ago, are still very respectable here in the base engine configuration of the Grand Highlander. You also can opt up to the traditional Toyota hybrid system, hybrid powertrain, and then that top trim Hybrid Max powertrain. Closing the hood, we can appreciate the style of this Grand Highlander. And again, this being the mid-grade limited trim gets a little bit of the niceties of the top trim Platinum without going all out. So I really like all the chrome accents on this one. I like the LED headlights, fog lights, running lights, turn signals, all the LED lights all the way around on this one. We also have 360 parking sensors on this one, but no 360 camera on this particular model. This does employ Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, so you get things like radar adaptive cruise, pedestrian monitoring, things like that. So it is a really nice package all the way around and a really handsome look, especially in this red paint job. Coming around to the wheels and tires, this is probably the easiest way to tell models apart is looking at the wheels and tires. Here we've got some Continental CrossContact ECoPlus tires wrapped around these 20-inch wheels. The measurements are 255/55 R20. It's a nice look, rather conservative, but that is about what you'd expect for a conservative 3-row people carrier. And coming around to the side, there is no mistaking the fact that this is a big 3-row SUV. There is plenty of room inside. We'll get to that here in just a little bit, but it really does look like a 4Runner and a RAV4 had a child together, or maybe just the RAV4 really hit the gym. It is big and bulky, but not massive. I really like the style of it. That RAV4 resemblance really carries over back here to the back because this looks like it was stolen straight off of a RAV4. You can see we have LED lights back here as well. All the way across, we get the all-wheel drive badge right there and the limited badge here on the back panel. And then very subtly, you get Grand Highlander spelled out right underneath the Toyota logo back here in the back. This is a power-operated rear hatch, so you can pop it open, and you can see this one being a dealer model that is eventually going to go to somebody's home. We've got some parts back here, but we do have this 60/40 split bench, a 3rd-row seat. We'll go ahead and call out, we have top tethers on the passenger side and the center seat back here in the back. Nothing here on the 40% driver side. If you want to fold these down, you simply flip that lever up and fold it down. The headrest goes down as you put it down, and then you can bring it back up by pulling on the latch there. Pull that headrest back into place if you want. The third seatbelt does come from the ceiling. It does detach, so if you want a completely flat load floor and you don't want to have to worry about this seatbelt being in the way, you can absolutely do that. I'm going to go ahead and flip this box up out of the way because we have a decent amount of storage space back here, and even more so when you lift up the false load floor. There isn't just a ton of space underneath here, but you do have your roller shade for your cargo area if you've got the rear seats folded flat. A little bit of storage in here, and then if you needed to fix a flat or repair a flat tire, the spare tire is underneath all this plastic. So you do have to take out quite a bit of plastic to get to the spare tire, but it is actually in the vehicle, not underneath the vehicle. So you don't have to worry about it being gross and disgusting if that occasion ever came your way. But yes, very nice cargo compartment in here. Very tall, very upright, very boxy, and more spacious than the even larger than this Toyota Sequoia. Before we get too far into this one, I did want to show you the key. Typical Toyota key, nothing too special about it. It does say Grand Highlander here on the back. You can deploy a physical key here, but you get lock, unlock, your hatch release, and a panic button. This does have, like I said, Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which should allow for one of my favorite upgrades in a Toyota's lineup in quite some time. This does have remote start. You just hit lock once, twice, and then you hold it a third time. It'll beep at you a few times, and then it'll turn on. Again, there it goes. With Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, I do have it on good authority from Toyota. That is the easiest way to tell if it's got my favorite upgrade, and that is remote start that does not turn off when you unlock or open the doors. So previous generations, Toyota Safety Sense 2.5, 2.0, things like that, if you were to unlock the vehicle after remote starting it, the vehicle would shut off, which does not really work when temperatures get over 100 degrees for us here in the summer. If we want to load a kid in the back and have the air running while we do it, this is an absolute game changer and would have me now consider Toyota where previously I might not have. You can keep that key in your pocket because it is a proximity key. You can lock it by pressing that right there. Unlock it, as you saw, just by putting your hand on the back of the door. And here on this limited grade, we do have that on all four doors, so I really like that. Coming in to the driver's door, before I get in, I do want to show you some of the features of it. So we got this nice wood look right here. Does not feel like real wood, but it is a nice classy look. Does not look like cheap plastic. You have two-person memory driver's seat here, power mirror controls, and they do fold. You can put that on auto, so when you lock them, they lock. Your lock buttons, your window controls, and your window lockout all right here on the driver's door. You get some nice storage here as well. There is some material down here, so if you put something hard plastic, it's not going to rattle. Nice padded armrest here and some more storage down low. Get a Grand Highlander badge here on the sill plate, a multi-position power driver's seat with lumbar that when we come around to them, yes, they are leather wrapped. They are very comfortable. Similar design as that platinum grade, just without all the gold accents and without the suede insets in them. They are perforated, they are heated, and they are ventilated up front here. But let's get away from all of the outside road noise, pop into this one, and I'm actually going to turn the wheel and show you. Starting it up really does nothing when you've remote started it, which is very nice. The limited grade does get the full digital instrumentation cluster here, whereas the XLE trim will get analog gauges. We also get standard across the board, the 12.3-inch infotainment system. This is Toyota's new in-house design unit. There is no real home screen, so to speak. So you just get all your controls over here. We've tested that in many other products. Really wish they would bring this to the other big people carrier of the lineup in the Sienna minivan, but I really like it here in this Grand Highlander. Steering wheel is typical Toyota steering wheel. All your controls for your infotainment, for your screen up here, for your cruise control and the like are all up here and very easy. Over my left knee, we do have heated steering wheel, your hatch release button, and automatic high beams. Way down here is the release for your fuel door and the release for your hood. Hiding back behind here is your odometer trip reset and your brightness controls for that 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. No head-up display in our limited trim, and the rear view camera is not a rear view camera mirror either. So there are some things that you're sacrificing going down to this mid-trim limited grade, but when we get to that back seat, you'll see some of the things that I really like about it. Dual zone climate control up here that I really like. I mentioned earlier, heated and ventilated seats. They actually remember where they were set the last time you were in here. So I really, really like that. Paired with the remote start that doesn't turn off. Like I said, I could see myself actually considering the Toyota brand once again. This does have a third zone climate control in the rear seats, and we'll show you those controls when we get back there. Lots of interesting storage up here. So we've got storage here with a USB-C port. There are actually 7 USB ports all throughout this vehicle, so we'll count them as we go. That's number 1. And we've got the nice passenger seat over here. Number 2, this is also your interface for the wired version of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but you get wireless in here as well. 3 right here, this one is just for charging. And then hiding behind all this new vehicle stuff, we do have a Qi wireless charger, a little bit of storage here. And then because we have the THS or Toyota hybrid system, not the Hybrid Max, we get the 8-speed automatic with a mechanical gear selector in this one. So if you go and watch my limited video, you would see that it's got the Toyota Prius like electronic gear selector. Here we actually get a mechanical version, and I really like it, and is really easy to see when you put it in reverse. My brain is just wired to these. You can see we don't have 360 cameras, but we do have a very nice, very clear, crisp backup camera with trajectory lines. So I like that very well. It looks like you also have a washer back there paired in with the rear window washer. There, I can get those words out. We have an electronic hold for when you're in traffic, an electronic parking brake. You can turn the start stop of the engine off right here, traction control, snow mode, downhill descent control, eco mode, sport mode, rock and dirt mode, mud and sand mode, or normal mode. That's really all the all-wheel drive stuff that you would really need in this big crossover-based people carrier. Really like this traditional Highlander style center console. It's a roller lid. It still allows you to get into it without getting rid of your armrests. And very deep storage. We do have some additional power in here and a cigarette style outlet. Very nice, like that. We've got a little bit of storage back here as well. No storage on the sides of the center console, but see, there is, if I can show you, a big storage cubby right here. So your passengers can store something larger right here if they need to. That's really nice. And then coming up here to the glove box, you can see it is damped. It is rather large, but it is hard plastic. So if you put something hard plastic in here, it will rattle. Let's go ahead and pop out and show you that second row seat. It's going to beep at me because it doesn't like that I'm leaving the vehicle. But this right here is why you may want to consider the XLE or the limited trim. If you get the Hybrid Max powertrain, you cannot get this bench seat. You can only get captain's chairs here in the second row. So if you're really looking for an 8-seater, you have to forego the more powerful Hybrid Max and either go with the gas engine or 2.4 liter traditional hybrid system. Coming back here to the door, all Grand Highlanders get manual sunshades here on the second row. They are not available on the third row, but that is a nice option. And you can see they do a good job of covering nearly the entire window. Nice padding here. Again, some cloth here at the bottom. Interesting, very shallow cup holders here, but lots of storage in the base of the door. And then we'll go ahead and pop in. I will show you, let's see, we had 1, 2, 3 USB ports up front, 4, 5 right back here. I do know, sorry, it is very dark back here, but yes, 4 and 5 are back here. We do have heated outboard seats in this limited grade. You had to go up to the platinum grade to get ventilated seats, but then again, you lose your center seat here. All your controls are back here, very nice, very easy to use. I like that they are center mounted, and you can see there are no vents on the back of this because the vents are actually mounted in the ceiling, which is something, again, we absolutely love here in a hot East Texas summer, especially when Tucker was in his rear-facing car seat. The vents on the back of the center console just do not put out enough air to really get it cool, especially in a rear-facing car seat. So that is a parent's welcome addition here in this Grand Highlander. So the center seat here does have a fold-down center armrest. It doesn't flop all the way down to the base of the seat. I like that a lot. This is a 60-40 split bench second row with the 40% being here on the driver's side. It is a little backwards for me. I do wish the 40% were over here because that's where we traditionally leave Tucker's car seat. You can see the seatbelt for the middle seat is attached to the passenger side seat. So if you did fold these seats down, you don't have a ceiling mounted seatbelt coming down from there. And coming around to me, we do not have a sunroof in this one, so I've got plenty of headroom in this. I've got plenty of legroom behind myself at 5'10". I'm sitting very comfortably, very chair-like seating position, also a stadium-like seating position. So I'm looking over the headrest up above me or in front of me, so that is a nice look as well. Coming to the center seat, this is actually the first time I've ever been in a Grand Highlander with a center seat, so really like it. You do get a little bit of a hump here in the middle, but it is not too bad. You can see my knees are up a little bit more off the seat, and I am sitting a little bit taller, a little more upright because the center seat is a little more firm, but I still have plenty of headroom here on this side as well. And then, of course, those sunshades over there that we like so much. But this is a 3-row SUV, so I'm going to pop out and show you exactly what it is like to flip and fold this and get back into that 3rd row. So we do have multiple controls here on the side. You can pull this and it will flip and fold the whole thing up. You can fold it flat by pulling this one, and this simply slides it forward and back. So they are on rails, and you can negotiate with the rear seat passengers for space. But we're going to go ahead and pull that lever and slide it forward. You can see here that these are not exactly child seat friendly second row seats, in that if you had a child seat in place with the seats trying to get into that 3rd row of seats, it's not really going to work. You're just going to have to slide that seat forward. But Toyota does give you a nice landing place to climb back here into the back seat. And I'm going to go ahead and show you, they also give you a nice little clip here to put the seatbelt in the side when you just need a clear access to that back seat back there. Again, we have 3 across seating back here in the back. I'm going to go ahead and climb in here just to show you what it's like in this 3rd row of seats. So you saw earlier, these do flip and fold forward, but, well, I'm sitting upright. This is the upright position. Headroom is very tight and is not extremely comfortable, but if we don't have a lot of cargo back behind me, these actually recline quite a far way, so I can get very comfortable back here. And then pulling the seat forward, I'm going to make sure and pull it all the way back. So this is me sitting behind myself with the 2nd row seat all the way back. I have plenty of room. You can see my knees are angled up a little bit more, or my legs are angled up a little bit more. My knees are a little higher because I'm sitting a little closer to the floor back here, but really not that uncomfortable. I could ride back here very nicely. Again, I am sacrificing cargo space for my seat back position, and the passenger side does that as well. So you can get a nice seating position. I've actually got mine all the way back, and I don't think that's entirely necessary. So there we go. That is a nice seating position. I've still got a little bit of headroom back here, but I'm very comfortable. We're up to 5 USB ports so far. I will show you 6 and 7. So we have 6 right here, and 7 over on the passenger side. They're both integrated into this grab handle for climbing in and out of the back. So that is a nice touch. I showed you that cargo shade underneath the load floor back there. This is where it would attach if you had this third row seat folded. And Toyota thought about tablets when it came to cup holder and storage space back here. So not only can you put 3 cups in here, I do believe, but you can also put a couple tablets in here and they would sit upright. Very nice, very convenient, very close to the storage as well. While I'm behind the third row of seats, I will go ahead and show you there are top tethers all the way across back here. But back here in the third row, remember there were top tethers for the center and the passenger side. There are lower latch points only on the passenger side, nothing here in the middle and nothing here for me on the driver's side. If I want to get out, simply pull that lever and flip and fold the seat forward. We can pop out. Woo! Getting out is not that bad either. And then since we're talking child safety seats, I'll go ahead, put this back into place and show you we do have lower latch points on both outboard seats here in the second row. I have a top tether for that middle row, but no lower latch points right there. That is all for my quick tour of it. Now let's hop behind the wheel and see how this traditional or Toyota hybrid system powertrain powers this big 3-row SUV around. All right, gearheads, getting in, setting off. I will say again, I really appreciate the mechanical controls for that 8-speed transmission, but getting out in traffic, let's give it a little. Okay. Not bad, not bad. This is not a sluggish big 3-row SUV by any means. Now this is kind of the mid-trim limited. Grand Highlander goes XLE, limited, platinum, and the engine choices are gas, hybrid, the Toyota hybrid system, and then that hybrid max that I tested in the platinum not that long ago here on the channel. This really is the trim and the engine that I think you are going to see on the road the most. And the fact that you cannot get 8 seats in the hybrid max, and there's nothing bad about this whatsoever. I still get my heated and ventilated seats up front. I get heated outboard seats in the back. I get the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which is standard across the lineup. I get the rear sunshades, which are standard across the lineup. I get remote start that actually stays on when I open the door. So there's a lot to like about this one. And I've been really impressed. I also get the digital gauge cluster up here. If technology is a little more of your forte, it does a good job. Right now I've got it on the adaptive cruise mode, telling me what exactly is going on here in front of me. But I can pan through many different screens here and see my trip computer, all kinds of stuff, including what I'm listening to on the audio system. So really is an informative system here in front of me. Very configurable, really like that a lot. Really have enjoyed all of the updated technology when it comes to Toyota's infotainment system and all the Toyota and Lexus products that we've tested on the channel too far. But as far as getting out and getting in this one, I mean, it is not sluggish. The 8-speed took a second to realize that I had the pedal to the floor, but once it did, this thing set off. It does not feel big, it does not feel heavy, but looking in my rearview mirror, there's a lot of vehicle back behind me, and there is a lot of space, as you saw, for real adults in all 3 rows. So if you are looking for something that is nowhere near as thirsty as the big Sequoia, has really more room inside than that big Sequoia, and will save you money not only on the purchase, but in the long run, maybe this Grand Highlander is something you should be checking out. And as long as you don't care about ventilated rear seats and some additional luxuries and technologies, the micro suede inserts on the seats, stuff like that, this limited trim really has a lot to offer, and I've been really pleased at a considerable discount. And speaking of discounts over that platinum trim, this one slots in at $53,560 as this one is optioned, and you are getting a lot for that money. and really comfortable, well put together vehicle from Toyota. Like I said, the upgraded technology in here really updates a lot of the shortcomings I saw as a personal shopper myself for the brand. This really is a desirable vehicle all the way around. I could see my family buying something like this, especially with this 8-speed transmission that does not seem overmatched or overworked. It seems to know exactly what you want it to do, if just a tad bit slow, but I mean, it'll move. It's much quicker than I would expect for a vehicle of this size. The ride is good. The suspension is comfortable. All around, this is a really good vehicle. If you want to see more from us or want to see us test one of these for a week, let us know down in the comments. We'll pass those along to Toyota and hopefully get one for a full week's worth of testing, where we'll do child seat installation, all our normal tests. Again, huge thanks to Classic Toyota here in Tyler, Texas for letting me borrow this one. It could be yours. Link to their website down below as well. If you want to see more from us, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, follow us on all social media, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube. Everything is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com, where you'll find links to everything, and you can see some pictures of this, including some pictures of the Platinum trim that we tested not that long ago. As for me, in the mid-grade limited trim of the all-new 2024 Grand Highlander, till next time, gearheads. Bye. And in this video, I'm going to take you on a quick tour. You are just absolutely being obnoxious. Speed bump test. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is good. Well done, Toyota. Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. It's big without feeling huge. Unless you're a passenger. Good, good, good.